Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Kathleen here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about under eye concealer and color corrector. So if that interests you, continue watching. So I was on vacation this past week and I got up, I was with my family, and I got up one morning and sat down on the couch with my grandson, and he looks over and he goes, "You have black underneath your eyes." And with that, I looked at my daughter. I said, "Do I have like mascara underneath my eyes?" And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, you mean to say like those are my dark circles?" And it is, it's my dark circles. That, you know, I'm not oblivious to knowing that I have dark circles underneath my eye, but it comes with age, which is fine by me. Like, it's just one of those things that I earned every one of these dark circles, wrinkles, fine lines, and sagginess. So I'm fine about that. But what I do care about is using a color corrector or a concealer that goes underneath my eyes that's not going to have it look cakey and dry looking. And I can tell you, for the longest time, concealers were not made for mature women. They were always so heavy and dried very quickly, so that your under eye would look crepey and dry. Well, I have found one of the best things this past year, and I'm really happy to share it with you. It is the Tarte. It is the Tarte, let me say it correctly here, the Colored Clay CC Cream. And it comes in this little tiny package here. This is the color of it. You can see this is in the light medium peach. I actually have it on my under eye now. You can see that it does not look very heavy. It just kind of brightens up my under eye. And yeah, it looks very smooth, right? It doesn't look like it's textured at all. And so it comes in 4 different shades. This is the light to medium. That fits best for my skin tone. There's a medium to tan peach, which would be for somebody who has, like, obviously like medium skin tone. There's an orange color, and that would be for somebody who's tan and dark looking. And then there's a red tone, and that would be for somebody who's really dark skinned. So they do have 4 different shades. They are extra creamy. They go on lovely. You can use them as a color corrector if you have like any hyperpigmentation on your face, or any, you know, any type of sun damage that you're looking to cover up and you don't want to go too heavy with a foundation. You could go in there and do like some spot correcting first with it. It's super lightweight, like I said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you in this video how I applied this, along with, so after you put this color corrector on, they suggest that you either go over it with a foundation or you go over it with a concealer. And that's pretty much what I did in this video. I went over it with this Tarte. This is the Shape Tape Blur. Comes in a package that looks like so. Can you see that? It's very creamy. Can you see how creamy that is? How nicely that blends in. It's not heavy at all. It doesn't look patchy. It doesn't look crepey on my skin. And then I'll show you how I set my under eye with a very finely milled setting powder. The retail price for this is $32. If you need some shade matching advice, please leave it in the description box below, and I'll do my best to give you what I would recommend for you to use. I do apologize if you hear my AC going off, because it is very, very hot here in New Jersey. And typically what I'll do is I'll turn it off and I can get away with it for a few hours. But because it's so hot, like, I just can't, I wouldn't be able to do that today. So the color that best fits my skin tone is the light medium peach, okay? And it's the shade right here. And I'm trying to cover up these dark circles under here, okay, and to brighten up this under eye and inside of my eye in here. Don't be fooled by the word clay in here. When I first heard clay, I thought to myself, oh, it's gonna be like thick and heavy and drying, but it's not at all. It's super creamy and it's super lightweight, and a little goes a long way. Okay, so what do I have on my skin now? So I have all of my makeup on, and you can see that I'm quite shiny. I have not set my face with a setting powder, only because I want to go in there first and do my color correcting for my under eye. Because I do my eyeshadow first, I get a lot of drop off underneath here, which sometimes can cause some dark circles. So I want to go in there and clean that up. So what I'll do is I'll take a Q-tip, I'll take Bioderma, some type of micellar water, and just go underneath there and clean up underneath that eye. And sometimes it doesn't look like you have any drop off coming from your eyeshadow, but if you can see my Q-tip, how dirty that is, you don't want that adding any more darkness to your under eye, right? So you want to go in there and clean up as much as possible. So now that's cleaned off. Next, I'll always go in, and especially if you have a dry under eye, this is going to be so helpful to you. Go in there with some type of moisturizer. I'm going to use this one here today. Comes in a little tube like this, and it is called On The Go Eye Balm. And a little of this goes a long way too. And this is just gonna add a little bit of hydration to my under eye. So if you have like dryness in your under eye like I do, if you're using an eye cream that has like a retinol in it, and that's just going to help with any fine lines and remove any type of discoloration if it's like from the sun. So I'll go in, I'll just take a little bit, comes in a tube like so. And that's almost too much. Can you see how creamy that, can you see how much that is there? And go in, and I'm actually gonna wipe a good portion of that off. I'm telling you, you need a little tiny bit. And go in there and just dab that underneath my eye. I'm just gonna tap this in very gently because you don't wanna go in there with any type of color corrector or concealer and have it kind of collect in any dry areas there. That'll just make your under eye look crepey, old, and tired. And I can tell you that the thing that's gonna make your eyes look really tired is not gonna be the lines. It's not gonna be any type of sagginess that you might have underneath there. The thing that's gonna cause you to look older and tired is gonna be any darkness. And that goes the same for your face too. So if you have a lot of hyperpigmentation, I encourage you to go on and correct that first before you go in there with any type of foundation and thinking that that's gonna lighten it up. So, okay, so now it's ready for me to go in there and to correct it. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna go in there very gently. I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit so you can see. I'm just gonna take this concealer brush that looks like so, okay, and go in there and just tap very gently. And I'm gonna start in here, and I'm just gonna start tapping that in underneath my eye. Now you can see how light this is. Can you already see how that brightened up here as opposed to this side? Like it just is, it's great. It's like such a great brightener for that under eye. And I'm just gonna keep tapping that in underneath here. And again, underneath there. Take a little bit more and go up in here. And don't forget about this corner here where I get a lot of darkness too. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna tap that in there and go up underneath here. And I'm not swiping because this is very light and I don't wanna remove any of it. I really just wanna press it into the skin. I'm gonna go underneath there. And that's it. Can you see the difference between this eye and this eye? Like this eye looks more tired, right? With that darkness, especially for me, I have a lot of like purple. Can you see that purple in here? Like that just casts a shadow and just makes everything look so much darker. And again, underneath here is I get a little darkness too. And all right, let's go in and do the other side. Again, I'm going to take it and show you here. I want you to see this here. And just press that in there. You see how creamy that is? And how light it is? The last thing in the world you want to do is go in there with something that's too heavy on mature eyes. Something that's going to be so drying underneath there, like a fast setting concealer. Some of these concealers out there have, like they're meant to set right away because you get creasing. But that's like the worst thing that you can do for a mature eye. Wow, just look how that brightened that up in there. Okay, let's go do this corner, outer corner here so you can see, like right here. Let me be able to see. And you can see I'm not really swiping, I'm just really dabbing, pressing that into the skin underneath there. And if I do have a little too much on there, what I'll do is I'll bring it up like this. I'll just keep taking that concealer and just, or the color corrector, and just bring it up. I don't want it to stop right there and cause like any type of shadow there. So I want to kind of keep bringing it and blending it up. You can see how that just kind of makes the eye lifted and bright. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in, and I do need to go in. They do highly recommend using a concealer over the top of this or your foundation, whichever you choose to use. I'm gonna go in there and I'm going to take, I'm gonna take the Tarte Blurring Concealer too, which is something else that's very light and creamy. Let's go in and Just dab a little bit. And again, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna press that in there. I use just a little tiny bit. Go back underneath here and do this side. All right, so you can see that my face is very shiny, like I shared. I did my makeup, but I did not use any setting powder because I want to go in at the very end and kind of set everything in place, and that includes my under eye. So I'm going to take this Laneige, this Neo Essential Blurring Powder, and go in there and just kind of set my entire face, but also set that under eye. Okay, I'm going to take this powder puff, looks like so, because that really gets into that under eye. Go in, all right. I love this setting powder. It's very light. I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna pump that a little bit. Comes out looking like so, and then I'm just gonna kind of bang that out a little bit on my hand and go in there and set that. Can you see the difference, right? How it just took that shine down underneath there, but it's not heavy at all. It's very, very light. And I'm gonna do the rest of my face too. It's quite humid here in New Jersey and everything is shiny and wet and damp. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side. Now, if you have questions about what color you need to use, like in your under eye, please leave it in the description box below. And if you have any questions about makeup in general, hair in general, I've been in this industry my entire life. I'm gonna leave a link to my guide in the description box below, and it has in that link, it has a link to all my favorite products for healthy, glowing skin and hair. But there's also a link there where you can schedule a time to sit down with me and we can do a Zoom call if you'd like and just kind of discuss whatever makeup products that you might have or just questions in general that you might have about hair or makeup. And if you are gaining any value from this video, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up so it just pushes out to other people, mature women who may need to hear some of this information that I'm sharing on here. Okay, let's go in and do the other under eye. Go in there and press, right, voila, that just kind of takes that away in here, and my mouth. And there you have it. You can see the under eye. Right? It's not heavy at all. It's very light. So that powder just went in there and just set it enough so it doesn't look too heavy and too cakey. You don't want to get too heavy with any of your products because that is probably the worst thing you can do for mature skin. So we want to keep it natural and glowy and healthy looking. So if you are having a problem with dark circles on your under eye and you really need to start using an under eye cream, I'll leave a link to some of my favorite ones down below. And yeah, you just need to make sure you keep it hydrated. Keep an Aquaphor stick next to your bed at night and just simply go in there and just rub this Aquaphor stick underneath your eye. You can also use this Aquaphor stick right before you go in and use any type of concealer on your under eye. Or again, I'll leave a link to this one down below in case you're interested in trying this. A little of this goes a long way. So you can grab this color corrector. You can grab it on either Sephora, Ulta, and yes, I suggest going to a reputable site to make sure you're not getting some type of dupe. And this again is the light medium peach color that I used. You can see it's very skin tone. And then again, you have this blurring concealer from Tarte too, which, to tell you the truth, I had never been a big fan of Tarte concealers because they're usually very, very heavy. None of them were ever creamy, and they really just made my under eye look really dry and cakey looking. But these new concealers are super creamy and very lightweight. And then yeah, one of my new favorite setting powder is this Laneige Neo Essential Blurring Powder. Okay, which is very, very lightweight. And then I'll leave a link to all the other makeup that I have that I'm wearing today. I'll leave that in the description box below. And guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did gain any value from this video, please consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. And I hopefully will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.